Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you!
Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am a shameless fan of getting free stuff, and I'm an even shamelesser fan of being able to shout out people in the community that are making new and interesting and innovative things, and this is a combination of both of those. So, these were sent to me by the Nerf Wolf. I will have the links to all of his stuff down in the description, of course, and they are Nerf Boffer blowguns. They're designed for Nerf wars, not for, you know, actual competitive LARPs like AmpGuard or Belgarth or anything like that. They do not meet those standards, but they do meet the standards of most Nerf wars, which allow just PVC and pool noodle type stuff. But they have the added design feature that they are blowguns. So what looks like a pommel is actually the embouchure for a blowgun, and then the tips are open. So you wouldn't really want to thrust with these, because that PVC is a little bit close to the tip. If they were cut, like, 2 inches further down, so that there was plenty of foam ahead of it, you might be able to, reasonably safely thrust, but it's still not really a good idea. Thrusting is a fencing technique that should only be done if you really know what you're doing, because if you're too close, even with safe weapons, you can hurt somebody if you're not careful, or if they trip and land on it and stuff like that. Which is something that has a tendency to happen in Nerf wars. So I really would only recommend using these for slashing, which is peachy. And what's neat is that it allows you to go from melee to range pretty much instantly, because you can just pick up darts off the ground and shoot them as a blowgun, and then if they close in, you can just swing at them. So I got 3 different sizes. I got the dagger size. It's less than 18 inches. I then have more of it's not quite an arming sword. It's in between there, but it's a good length for a Nerf sword, honestly, especially if you have a shield. Easy that you could put it in some kind of a sheath that would be easily to draw. If it was much longer, that would get a little bit more difficult. Same handle design. The handle is a little bit longer, though it's not really long enough to really have any need for a longer handle, but it kind of balances the sword, I feel, which is nice. Same embouchure design. And then they have a much longer one, which is almost German longsword length, though this one could actually use a slightly longer handle. It's longer than either of those two, and you can get a full grip. But to really get the leverage and the tip control for a blade this long, you'd want the hand about another hand apart. Though you can get it down to the pommel and really kind of get that leverage, but it's not quite there. So it either would need to be a little bit shorter, or the handle would need to be a little bit longer for proper balance of weapons. But that's really only necessary if you really know German longsword technique, which most people running around with a foam sword at a Nerf war aren't. So disregard all of that. They're lovely. And the different lengths, we are going to take it out and we're going to shoot some darts down my alley, both full darts and half darts, and see what kind of range difference and accuracy difference we get out of the different lengths. Because all of the blowguns that I tested in my previous blowgun video, which there'll be a link in the description so you can compare the results of those to this, were roughly this length, except for my homemade one, my polearm one, which is closer to this one, if not longer. So I haven't tested anything in this length, so it'll be interesting to see the differences. So let's head to the now full of garbage range that I am thoroughly annoyed about. Luckily, it's not in my shooting section of it, just in the opening, because people are trash. Anyway, to the range. Alright, we're going to be firing some AccuFakes and some worker half darts, starting with the short one, and seeing how it performs, starting with the AccuFakes. Alright, now some worker half darts. Squirrel! Let's go take a look. First one came in a little short, as I wasn't quite ready for it. But then we're coming in here at 59. Half darts are coming in, low one at 64. Longest AccuFake was 68. Then we have a 76. And a 76. So, not bad. Let's try the next one up. Now for some half darts. Very nice. We'll take that out. Low end this time was 64. Then 70. 73. The half darts are coming in 78 for 2 of them. And 82. So not bad, and again, very decent grouping. I'm not trying overly to aim, but they're still coming in at a fairly tight group. Alright, and now for the long one. Let's take a look. Bottom end now is 72, and this one had kind of a bad release. The AccuFakes, the heads are almost pretty much the same size as the foam, and so they will catch and drag, and I felt this one do that. The other two that didn't have that happen came in all the way up here at 92, right at the marker. And this was not fired at an optimal angle for distance. This was a fairly low shot, as if I were aiming for a person at this range. So we're now past 100 with the half darts. And where's the third one? I don't even know. Oh, there it is. So here we're at a solid 120 probably, 115. So yeah, the long one makes the big difference. Well, there you have it. The results were not particularly surprising. The longer one did better, though that is because I have the lung capacity and the diaphragm strength to make it work. If you're, a smaller kid, you might want to go with one of the smaller ones, because if you don't have the lung capacity and the diaphragm strength to clear the barrel before you run out of air, you're going to start running into serious drag issues, and you're going to have a drop in performance. So blowguns need to be tailored to the person that's using them and their abilities, unlike Nerf blasters, where the power that they output is fixed by the mechanical mechanism that's using it, either the flywheels or the plunger and the spring or the air compress system, whatever. This one, it's all down to your ability to propel the dart through the blowgun. But I was not surprised by the results based on the ones from the previous video. Again, you can check that out if you want to compare numbers and all of that. I didn't bother with FPS because I don't think it really matters that much in this particular case. It really comes down, because once again, it's going to vary so much from person to person. So the longer one having the better range didn't surprise me. It also, I think, was a little bit more accurate. I do regret using AccuFakes. I picked them because they are more accurate, but I should have used either men guns or waffle tips or something else that has the smaller head, so the heads don't catch, because I ran into that problem a little bit where I could feel the head was catching on the way out, and it was messing with the performance. But all of them were very accurate. I had maybe a 2 to 3 foot variance either side, right to left, and that was with me not really trying to keep it really accurate. If I had some kind of a brace, I believe they would have been much more accurate. The fact that they were within inches of each other with this one at 92 feet is impressive for any Nerf blaster, other than the super highly tuned sniper blasters. So this one's performing on almost that level, and it's literally a tube of PVC, but it also functions as a sword. So it's very dual purpose, it's very modular, and I approve. By modularity, I mean you could easily just remove the foam blade and cut the thing down to whatever length works best for you with a little bit of experimentation. Like I said, these wouldn't be suitable for most LARPs. They might be. I think they actually would be legal for Afterworlds, as long as you didn't thrust with them. Though I don't know if Afterworlds allows blowguns. I kind of think they don't, but I could be wrong about that. But in any of our Nerf wars, they would be perfectly legal. It's thick-walled PVC, so it's not likely to break under the kind of forces that we're using, because we very rarely actually have melee versus melee, and generally it's with people who have no idea what they're doing, and they're generally have the ones that we play with don't tend to get crazy out of control. I wouldn't be worried about, especially the shorter ones, breaking, and I wouldn't be worried about them people getting hurt by them unless somebody slipped and thrust. So like I said, I'd probably cut the tips down a little bit in there, but I really like him. He is working on a much more I guess professional looking design. This is all, you know, foam that he's cut, and PVC joints that are then wrapped in electrician's tape, which actually doesn't look bad, honestly, for the price. And then he's coated this in tool dip and can do it in whatever colors tool dip comes in, so you can get it fairly well customized. I'm tempted to actually redo the outer layer in orange, because that's my color and it's a little bit, you know, brighter and all of that. And I definitely like to try to come up with some kind of a holster or a belt loop or something so that I can use one of these in our wars, because I really like them both for the melee aspect and the fact that you can just pick up darts and shoot them. You don't have to load a magazine, you don't have to prime a blaster or anything like that. It's just and fire, and they're very accurate. So I like them. I think they're a product worth looking into if you're looking for something like this, or something to emulate. Like I said, he's coming up with more fancy designs for it. These were early prototype models to get the concept out there, and I think it is in fact a good concept. I plan to try using them in the next war that we have, and I would encourage anyone who's looking for something along these lines to give his Etsy shop a look. I think it's an Etsy shop. I will find all the links. They'll be below. So yeah, thanks for sending them. Thank you guys for watching.